You are doing this because you just don't know what else to do, how it works with a recruiter. Okay. So, what I see a lot in resumes is also that think about the impact that you've made in your past roles. Did you save the company money? Did you increase efficiency? Did you drive revenue? Hey, you, and welcome to a new episode of the Career Power Play podcast. My name is Savannah Mulder. I'm your host, and we are going to talk about something amazing and something that a lot of you are constantly asking for. We are going to discuss your resume. So let me guess. You have sent out dozens, maybe hundreds of resumes. And I know because my clients also do those kind of things before they come to me. But you're not hearing anything back except crickets, right? And that is why you're here. And that is why you are listening or watching this episode, because you want to know what is the secret? Why is no one responding? And how am I going to make them respond? It's frustrating, right? You are putting in all this time and effort and energy, and you have the feeling like nobody's even looking at your resume. Nobody's even looking at your application. That sucks. But here's the truth. It's not you, it's just your resume. It is your application, how everything is structured. So that is something that we can fix. So today we are going to talk about why your resume isn't getting any interviews and most importantly, how to fix it. Did you know that recruiters spend an average of 6 seconds, and 6 seconds being a lot, looking at your resume? So the structure matters. What pops out of your resume matters. By the way, if you want to get clear on how to present yourself in an application, you should definitely get my free career clarity blueprint, including a worksheet. And I will walk you through the exact steps on how to get clear on your personal brand so that you can use it in your application. You will gain more confidence and you will find out how to present yourself. And it is such an important skill to have. You can grab it through the link in the show notes. I'm going to put this down because it is quite heavy. So before we're getting into the episode, I just want to let you guys know that I just am so grateful for what I'm doing every day. I notice so much gratitude in my clients and even in friends of my clients come to me and say, thank you for helping her to get to that point. But the funny thing is, it wasn't me that did that. It was you. You just needed like the tools and knowledge that I have that I could give to you. But in the end, it is you. What you do with it, it's all up to you. So I can give you everything, but if you don't do anything with it, nothing happens. But if you act on it and really implement everything, put everything that you have into like upgrading your career and getting to a better place, then as soon as you get there, that is something that you did. I'm grateful that you're grateful for me, but know that without you, you wouldn't even got to the place where you are. So I just wanted to mention that because without the implementation of everything that I teach you, nothing happens. Okay, so by the way, I have to talk about my nails for a sec because don't you freaking love them? I love them so much. It was, I think, the longest nail appointment in history for me, but it is so cute, right? It's like stained glass on my nails. I cannot stop looking at them. So every time I'm like having a sip of my coffee, I'm like, they're so cute. Shoot, my coffee is getting cold. That's why it's because I talk too much. I just keep talking and I forget to drink my coffee. By the way, does that ever happen to you when you're like at the office and you grab a coffee and you put it down and you're just starting to do your work and then in an hour you're like, shoot, my coffee. And then you have to get another one and it happens again. That is me. So, that's about my coffee and my nails. And I was just thinking about where we will get into the episode in a sec, but I was just thinking about my day and how awesome my day today is going to be. I have to call a few people today for my freelance recruitment job to prepare them for an interview they have. So awesome. I just couldn't get a hold of them yesterday, so I have to call them today. That's the kind of person that I am. I will sacrifice my free day for that. My day off. I know it's my day off, but I have to call them because I want them to be well prepared. So, of course, I'm also recording this podcast episode today, which I always love. And I'm creating my content for next week. I have a discovery call with a potential client, and I'm also always so excited for the discovery calls because they are always eye openers to people. And by the way, I know I mentioned that I love my job because of the results that I'm getting with my clients, that I help my clients get for themselves. But yesterday, I actually received a message from someone that said that the discovery goal was a great experience. And I was like, oh my gosh, we didn't even do anything. So that is just awesome to hear that people, even before they start in their coaching program with me, they already have like a great experience in their discovery call. And it's like sometimes those things sometimes just blows my mind because in like how I see it, I didn't even do anything. I just tell you what is possible and how we can fix that. That's the only thing I do in a discovery call. That's what we talk about. We talk about your goals, your struggles. We talk about how I can help you fix them. And that is the discovery call. But it is amazing that people actually get something out of that already. So that is always the first step. And the very good thing is that as soon as people get something out of the discovery call, they know as well as I know that they will get so much out of the coaching program. It is going to be insane. So it is awesome that such a short period of time can have already such an impact on someone. And if you want to book your discovery call, you can find the link for that in the show notes. I have some availability this week, next week. So it would be awesome to speak to you, to get to know you, and to find out what your goals and struggles are, and to discuss with you how we can fix those and how we can make sure that you get to reach your goals. People always seem to call me. I don't even know that number, but people always seem to call me when I'm in the middle of recording something. They must feel that or something. I don't know. So, do I have like coffee stains? I hope not. Oh, my nails. Oh my God. My nails. All right. Anyways, today, we're going to talk about why your resume isn't getting you interviews and what you can do to fix it. So, welcome to the Career Powerplay podcast, the career podcast where I share the no fluff, no BS, but real and tangible advice. Let's dive
Dare to dream, take action, don't have fear. Become the best version of you. Let's create your dream career.
All right, let's talk about why your resume isn't working. Most people make the same mistakes over and over again, and it's costing them opportunities. And that's also why yours isn't working, probably. First, your resume is too generic. If you're using the same resume for every job application, you're missing the mark. Recruiters can tell when you're not tailoring it to the role. And let me get into that for a second. So, if you have like a generic resume, and I know you probably are like, oh my God, you're going there again. Yes, we are, because it's just so important. And a lot of people are like, I'm not going to do that for every application. Fun fact, it's not, you don't have to send hundreds of applications. What you're doing right now, it's not how you are going to move forward. It's not. You are doing this because you just don't know what else to do and you just want to get ahead. So you're just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and throwing resumes to companies and hoping something will stick. But if you're just sending a generic resume, it will never stick. And that's why you haven't been like in the door. That is the reason. So what a recruiter wants to see when they open up an application. So it's not, they don't open up a resume, they open up an application. And they don't see any comparison with you and the role slash the company. You are out. That is why you have to tailor your application to the role and to the company. And that's why it's so important. Because why would they invite you for an interview if they cannot even see the connection in your application? Why would they even continue with that? Makes no sense, right? And that is why that is the number one thing that you have to do. So that is a very important one. Second, your resume is probably focused on responsibilities instead of results. Also, a very important thing because I've talked about this before, but how it works with a recruiter, okay? A recruiter gets an open position, a vacancy. An open position has to be filled. They sit down with the hiring manager, or at least they should. So I hope if you're a recruiter, I hope that you're doing this. So a recruiter is going to sit down with the hiring manager. They will ask questions. All right, what is important for someone to have? What are key responsibilities? How does their day look like? Those questions are already answered to a recruiter before they start with their search, before they start looking at applications. So if you are putting the responsibilities in your resume, it doesn't tell the recruiter anything different than what they already know because they have heard that already from the hiring manager, how it looks like, what they should be doing, what they should have experience in. They already know that. So what they want to know is how well you did it. And you show that by showing them the results and not your responsibilities. Is that clear for you? So you need to show the impact that you made. And thirdly, you don't have the right sections at the right place. So what I see a lot in resumes is also that someone finished their education like 10, 15 years ago and their education is at the top. But why would you put your education at the top? If it's 10 to 15 years ago that you went there. It doesn't mean anything if it's that long ago. You know, if you graduated this year, then yes, put it at the top. But if it's 10, 15 years ago, it should be like at the bottom. Like at the bottom. So you have on top, you have your work experience, then you have courses, certifications, those kind of things that you did recently. And then you have your education from 10 to 15 years ago, because actually it doesn't really matter. It's good to mention, but it doesn't really matter. So where you put what on your resume makes all the difference in the world. Because when a recruiter opens up an application, they look at the resume and they mostly look at the top part. They don't scroll to the bottom unless they are intrigued by the top part. So in the top part, you want to make sure that you put every information that they want to see to make them scroll further. All right, that is what you want to achieve. So I had a client, Anna, who was applying for marketing roles but wasn't getting any responses. When I looked at her resume, I realized it was packed with responsibilities like manage influencer marketing and performance marketing, but there was no mention of the result that she achieved, like getting 200 plus paid clients with a K turnover with the launch of a new product. So once we reframed her resume to focus on the results, she started getting interviews within a week. That's how of an impact it can have. So now that we know what's not working, let's focus on how to fix it. I have 3 steps to make your resume stand out and get noticed. So, number one is tailor it to the role. You kind of figured that out probably because every job is different. Your resume should reflect that. Start by carefully reading the job description and highlighting the key skills and qualifications that they are looking for. And then make sure that those keywords are front and center on your resume because those keywords matter. For example, if the job description mentions influence marketing 5 times, you better believe that that phrase needs to be on your resume. Then focus on results instead of responsibilities. So instead of saying manage the team, say led a team of 5 to achieve a 20% increase in sales over 6 months. Numbers are your best friend here. You want to quantify everything and they make your achievement tangible and impressive. And what you want to do to make it like that extra is to make your achievements and the numbers of your achievement, make them bold. So they stand out like they pop out like right away. So think about the impact that you've made in your past roles. Did you save the company money? Did you increase efficiency? Did you drive revenue? Those are the things that recruiters care about and that recruiters can brag about to the hiring manager to get you invited for that interview. Step number 3, implement your personal brand. I feel like a broken record sometimes, but your personal brand is seriously so freaking important. It is just what sets you apart from other applicants. It's what shows who you are and what kind of person's application they're actually looking at. Personal brand sells way easier than the professional kind of that everybody else is just using because everybody wants to sound professional, but because they are trying to sound professional, they sound like everybody else because everybody wants to sound professional. That is not what you want to go for. You want to show them who you are and not what professionals should sound like because that's not who they're hiring. They are hiring you. So they want to know who you are. And if you're not sure what your personal brand is, make sure to get my free career clarity blueprint with worksheet so that you can easily find it and use it. So here's something that you want to remember. Your application is a reflection of your confidence. If you're underselling yourself, it's going to show. A lot of women that I work with struggle to own their achievements. It is super difficult. And that is what we work on in the personal branding stage. And that is why we start with the personal branding stage, because finding those things out makes you so confident. It makes you realize, my God, I am such a badass. This is what I did. I am freaking amazing. You would be lucky to work with me. Those are all things that will go through your mind as soon as we're at the end of the personal branding stage, because it is just that freaking awesome. It is for a reason that so many people say like, oh my God, I am so impressed with what you taught me about my personal brand and how you helped me get like really clear on myself. There is a reason, because it is freaking awesome. It is freaking awesome. And you will get so much more confident as soon as you find out how freaking amazing you actually are. And you just don't realize that because you haven't been paying attention to that. What I wanted to say is that a lot of women that I work with struggle to own their achievements. They will say things like, oh, but it was a team effort, or it's not a big of a deal. We all know that. It's not a big of a deal. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But here's the thing. If you don't advocate for yourself, no one else will. You cannot bring your mother to your interview. Your mother will advocate for you, but it's not that you can bring her to your interview. So think of your application as your highlight reel. This is your chance to show off everything that you've accomplished and why you're the perfect fit for the role, because that's what they want to know. And you know that you are the perfect fit for the role. So show that in your application. One of my clients, Katerina, was so shy. She was so shy about selling her strengths. She thought her achievements weren't impressive enough. First thing, never think that, because they are. But we worked on that. So when we sat down and reframed her experience, she realized she had done so many amazing things in her career and driven like incredible results. Once she started owning her value, everything changed. She landed her dream role as a freaking CMO, which was an amazing big step for her. Like, clearly a freaking CMO role that is up there, like awesome. So that is where there's just so much possible for you. I can't even. And it's such a shame that so many women don't know what's possible and feel like it isn't possible while it is. So if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start landing interviews, it is time to take action. So you want to grab my free guide, the Career Clarity Blueprint that I've mentioned earlier. It's packed with everything you need to get clear on your personal brand. And you can use that to upgrade your application and get noticed by recruiters. And if you're ready for personalized support, I would love to work with you. Whether it's on one-on-one or in my group coaching program, I'll help you to create that amazing application that gets results and a job search strategy that works. Head on over to the link in the show notes to apply. For my one-on-one, though, I only accept 3 people at once so that I can maintain the best focus and quality for my private coaching clients. I currently have 1 open position for that left. So if you're serious about this, about getting that personalized support, take your next step sooner rather than later, because I promise you, as soon as that's filled, there will be a wait list. Then you can also like jump on to the group coaching. But I just don't have that personalized support for you. If this episode resonated with you, DM me and let me know your biggest takeaway. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to share this episode with a friend who's also struggling with their resume application and getting interviews, because this could be a major help for them. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember, your dream role is out there waiting for you. You just need the right tools to land it. You've got this, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, keep dreaming big and taking bold action. Remember, power isn't given, babe. It's played. I'll see you in the next episode.